Well, I think it's a difference between a Washington focus and a Florida focus. I know Florida best, and I have a plan, a specific agenda to put Florida families first, Florida jobs first, and Florida's public safeties first. If a hurricane is threatening to make landfall in Chokoloskee, you need a governor who doesn't need to find a map to discover where that little town is. I am the candidate for governor who has a vision, a plan, and a knowledge of Florida to be able to implement a conservative, pro-business agenda to make our state even stronger and even better than it already is.
I want to call up the latest Real Clear Politics poll. Ron DeSantis polling 39% to you, 27.8%. That is more than a 10-point lead at the moment. That is a flip from what we did see before the president threw his support behind DeSantis. You had been leading in the polls before that happened and before that Fox News debate down there. So what does this say about President Trump's influence in these elections?
Well, it certainly says that the president is well liked in the state of Florida, but I also know that Floridians are going to make up their own minds about who Florida's governor should be. Look, we don't want to import Washington dysfunction into the state of Florida. The fact that they're just not able to roll up their sleeves and solve the many problems. Here in Florida, we're a model for the nation. We've taken our unemployment rate from double digits to under 4% in the last 7.5 years. We've cut taxes and balanced our budget every single year. And we've cut our debt rather than lifting the debt ceiling like they've done in Washington. So I'm focused on putting Florida first. And that's a very different approach, I think, than what we're seeing in the other candidates who are running for governor here in Florida.
Did you talk to the president while he was in town?
I did not.
He did not mention you by name yesterday, and there was a lot of anticipation to see how the president would handle that, knowing that you're a big supporter of his. He didn't say anything negative about you while he was there.
No, he didn't, and there's no reason why he should have, because he knows that his agenda is an agenda that I support. Cutting taxes, getting that second Supreme Court justice on our court, continuing to fight hard for American workers and Florida farmers when it comes to these trade renegotiations. But he also knows, I believe, that we need strong states pulling their share of the load. And that's what we've seen here with Governor Rick Scott. That's what we've seen here with Attorney General Pam Bondi. And that's what my campaign is rooted in, which is making sure that Florida is doing the best job that Florida can do, frankly, in spite of some of the dysfunction that goes on in Washington. Here in Florida, 1,000 new people are moving here every single day because they know that we roll out the red carpet for small businesses. My campaign is all about our veterans, our small businesses, and making sure that we put career and technical education back into our schools.
We had Ron DeSantis on the program yesterday. Great to have you, Adam Putnam, on the program this morning. And Pam Bondi, by the way, the Florida AG, has thrown her support behind you. We saw the latest ad that you put out. Adam Putnam, candidate for governor of Florida, thank you.
Thank you, Sandra.
20 minutes before the hour, primaries August 28th there. From L.A. now, might be video hard to watch too, by the way. Police officers killing a hostage. And the department now releasing dramatic video of that incident, showing just how difficult a job authorities face each and every day. Apparently it's the first death in 13 years. William Janess is live on that in L.A. this morning. And what happened here, William? Good morning there.
Hey, good morning, Bill. So LAPD started wearing body cams in January, decided to release the video to increase transparency and trust. Here's the situation. June 16th, police get a 911 call of a homeless man who had just stabbed his girlfriend. So you be the judge if this shooting is justified.
Hey, put the knife down! Turn around, put the knife down!
So the man in red is Guillermo Perez. He has a large kitchen knife, and when he refuses to put it down, police fire beanbags. He is unfazed by the first round and deflects the next 2 or 3 with a folding chair. Then he grabs a hostage. He puts the knife to her throat, and according to police and witnesses, he begins to saw off her head. That's when officers fire, hoping to kill him before he kills her. Instead, both are shot. Here's how the scene unfolds.
Drop the knife! Drop the knife! Drop the knife!
So at this point in time, well, you can see the situation. LAPD had, as you said, Bill, gone 13 years without killing a hostage or bystander. This was June. Then, of course, in July, you had the shooting at Trader Joe's when police exchanged gunfire and killed the store manager.
Wow, that is
Bill?
just so real, watching that on camera. What happens now, William?
Well, as you know, in any police shooting, there's going to be an internal investigation on use of force. That will be evaluated by a review board, and then the Civilian Police Commission also will be looked at by the DA. They could do their own investigation. You could have the DOJ or even the FBI look into a civil rights violation. Here's the chief.
There's much more work remaining, and only upon the full review of the investigation will I be in a position to provide my recommendations on the actions of those involved.
So Perez was a gang member. He was just out of prison. He has multiple felony convictions in domestic abuse and assault. The victim's family, we're told, is going to file a wrongful death claim later today. And, of course, the coroner will come out with a report saying, was she killed by the knife or by the police? That will go into the court case, obviously. A lot left to be done in this case.
Okay, William, thank you on that. William Longinas reporting in Los Angeles today.
All right, we've got some breaking news out of the White House this morning. Right now, President Trump is firing off against his attorney general yet again on Twitter, calling on Jeff Sessions to end the Mueller probe. We're going to have more on that in just a moment.
Also, Sandra, the suspect in the murder of border agent Brian Terry, extradited to the U.S. out of Mexico. What awaits him in Arizona now? We'll tell you about that.
And Democrats ramping up their fight for documents on Supreme Court nominee Brett Kavanaugh's time working in the White House. Former Congressman Jason Chaffetz joins us on all of these big stories next.
I will not put the American taxpayers on the hook for a Senate Democrats fishing expedition.
People with type 2 diabetes are excited about the potential of once-weekly Ozempic. In a study with Ozempic, a majority of adults lowered their blood